The member for Griffith has indicated he is seeking the call.
I seek to make a personal explanation.
Does the member claim to be misrepresented?
Yes, I do.
You may proceed.
Today in question time, the Prime Minister so badly selectively quoted an article and then impugned meaning to those words that were the complete opposite of those words. And so I don't mean to explain it in full, but I would just like to quote the words, some of the words before and after that selective quote.
The member has just resumed his seat for a moment. Order. Order. Members on my left. Order. The Prime Minister.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. A personal explanation has to show where a member has been misrepresented. The member has just stood up and said that I quoted him, which I did. I tabled his whole article in the Hansard yesterday, which he wasn't capable of doing, because I want people to read exactly what it is that they are saying, which is that the motivation for the holding up of the Housing Australia Future Fund is all about politics.
The Leader of the... I'll hear from the Leader of the Australian Greens.
The member should be entitled to be able to make, especially on a question of misrepresentation, where the appropriate form is not to intervene while the statement is being made during question time, but to wait until afterwards, should be entitled to make that point. If after that anyone considers that that is a misrepresentation, then the Prime Minister has other forms that he can take, including making his own, as he did yesterday. But it should be a minimum, especially after what you just said, Mr Speaker, about appropriateness in this form has to be able to make his statement in full.
Order. Members will resume their seat or leave the chamber quietly. Order. I want to hear from the Leader of the House. The Leader of the House.
Yeah, thanks. Just to the point of order, the normal practice on personal explanations is that someone provides a quote and then explains that that quote is inaccurate. That's the normal process.
On the point of order, the Deputy Leader.
The point of order, Mr Speaker. I certainly felt very uncomfortable with the bullying attitude of the Prime Minister to a first-term MP, not just at the dispatch box yesterday, but on the way.
Resume your seat. Resume your seat. Order. The Leader of the House. Order. Order. The member for Hawke. The members on my left and right will cease interjecting immediately. The member for O'Connor is warned. The Leader of the House.
Mr Speaker, a couple of things. First of all, I'd put that was an abuse of the point of order. Secondly, the concept and an allegation of bullying is a serious allegation and should be withdrawn. And words like that, when they're used simply when someone took a point of order, actually creates a problem for when real instances occur.
Yeah, I want to... The member for, the Minister for the Environment and Water.
Mr Speaker,
on a point of order.
In response to the Deputy Leader of the Opposition's point of order, Mr Speaker, I feel profoundly offended and worried when the Deputy Leader of the Opposition constantly interjects when ministers on this side are responding to questions. Her interjections are constant, they are personal and they are nasty.
Order. Order. The House will come to order. The Leader of the Australian Greens will resume his seat. I want to deal with what the Deputy Leader of the Opposition said. I will order. Members on my left and my right. If interjections continue, people will leave the chamber immediately. I'm just going to ask the Deputy Leader to withdraw that comment so I can assist the House to deal with this point of order.
I stand by my comment, my allegation, and, Mr Speaker, I will not withdraw it.
To assist the House, I'm just going to ask the Deputy Leader to withdraw what she said in light of my remarks before, just to assist the House.
Mr Speaker, I withdraw.
Order. I thank the Deputy Leader of the Opposition for assisting the House and for her graciousness. Order. Order. I want to deal with the member for Griffith, but as the Australian Greens leader has another point of order.
Very briefly, in response to a point raised by the manager, the Leader of the House, in the point of order, the first point of order. Just to advise, just to say, the member did summarise the statement that he said amounted to the misrepresentation, and it shouldn't be incumbent on the member to re-quote a whole answer.
Resume your seat. Can I ask the member for Griffith to be short and sharp and explain to the House where he has been misrepresented? Not reading the quote out that the Prime Minister said, because that's a quote, but just to explain where you believe you have been misrepresented.
The Prime Minister selectively quoted to the extent and then impugned meaning to those quotes that imply the direct opposite of what the article was arguing. I just wish to make one quote from that article, if that's okay, that puts those words in context.
You've explained where you've been misrepresented. I thank the member for Griffith. No, just so that we're clear, we've dealt with this matter. You've explained where you've been represented to the House, and that's enough. I thank the member.